Hello, Bluewater family. This is Jonathan, coming to you with our second Bluewater musing update reflection connection point. So I'm here at my house right now. My wife is working at her home office that we had to set up in a spare bedroom, and I don't even know when I'm going to be back to my job teaching in classroom. Everything's pretty up in the air, but I'm sure you all knew that already. We can look at the news, we can look at everything that's going on around the world, and we can see so much happening that leaves us full of so much doubt, so many questions. When I look at all of this stuff, the first times that it started happening, I was thinking, like, there's this pandemic going on, there's a plague that's sweeping across the world. This doesn't feel like something that happens in real life or in present day. This seems like something straight out of the Old Testament. But when I think about that, if this seems like something that comes from another time period, it's important to take some time and remember that God was active and present in all of those time periods, just like he was in ours. If we're thinking that this seems like something that comes out of a different point in history, then just take a moment and consider everything that God's done in all those times. I've been finding it helpful through all of this to look back on some of those Old Testament stories. There's people in the Old Testament who go through incredible personal hardships. You can look at stories like Joseph, you can look at Naomi and Ruth, you can look at all these different people who lose their homes, lose their family, lose their prosperity, lose their hope, and in the end of their stories, we always see that even if things have been hard for the people in the middle of the story, God has been there working with them and protecting them and keeping them safe the whole time. And while for those individual people, things aren't always good, God always does have something good that comes to the community. We need to remember that nowhere does God promise that life is going to be easy for everyone forever. We may be used to living in a world where our life is easy, but that's not a guarantee. And faith in God doesn't mean that life is always going to be simple. I think a great opportunity to learn from all of this is looking at the 3 wisdom books in the Old Testament. That's Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the book of Job. I find the book of Job to be especially potent in here, as we see a man who had a comfortable life, had a good life, did everything right, and lost everything anyways, and he held on to his faith in God. The story of Job can teach us that even if we don't understand, even if we're frustrated, the most important thing that we can do is maintain faith, because God maintains his faith with us if we maintain our faith with him. He's there, he's working through all of this stuff, and I can't tell you how, but I know that he's going to stick around.